Are you planning a home renovation? Well, if so, today's video is for you, because in today's video, we're going to discuss the parts of a home renovation that no one else really likes to talk about because it's not the sexy part of a home renovation, but it is the part that you need to know to protect yourself. And we'll discuss that and a little bit more on today's video. Hey folks, Jack Wingate here, and on this channel, we help individuals, families, and businesses save money on their insurance, help you understand insurance just a little bit better, and let you know what's going on in the insurance industry. So let's set the stage. You've had a project at the house that you have been planning on for years, if you're like me. You've gotten estimates, you have saved up the money, and now it's time to get the work done. Well, before you pull the trigger, there are two things that I want to let you know about when it comes to your insurance to make sure you are protected. First things first, and this is the main point of this entire video. Most of the time when you hire a contractor to do a home renovation, you get caught up in the fact that what's the price? What is the scope of work? But oftentimes, as the normal homeowner, we forget to request their insurance information. Yes, sometimes you might even say, hey, are you insured? And the person will say, yeah, I'm insured. But how do you know this for a fact? And what insurance do they have? Well, let's clear that up right now. Before you let any contractor own your property, you need to request a certificate of insurance. Now, if you're like most people, you're like, what in the world is a certificate of insurance? Well, we have made another video that discusses actually what a certificate of insurance is in depth, and we'll link it up in the video here. But in essence, in the broad scheme of things, a certificate of insurance is just an evidence of insurance. It's saying that this person has this coverage. Simple as that. It basically says they have insurance. But to make sure you don't make a mistake that I've actually seen someone in our industry make before, an actual insurance agent made this mistake. So if he makes the mistake, I know you, having no insurance knowledge, can also make the mistake. And here's the thing. When you request a certificate of insurance from your contractor or your subcontractor, I want you to look at these things. First, in the top right-hand corner, there is a date field. This date field in the top right-hand corner says this is the date of which this certificate was produced. Make sure that date is a current date. So if you request it today, make sure it has today's date or tomorrow's date, something along those lines. As you move down the page, on the left-hand side, it's going to show the contractor's name or his business name. Move across the page, it's going to show the insurance carrier. Make sure there's something in there. And there'll be a carrier, it'll say A, and then there'll be a carrier name, and then the NAIC number, which is basically the carrier's national insurance number. You'll have A, B, C, D, I think there's E, so there's like room for up to 5 carriers on a certificate. Make sure that is in there. Then as you move down, the middle of the document is going to start with general liability. That's the first row that you see. Make sure that those boxes are checked. As you move across, there's a policy number. And here's the kickers. There's an effective date and an expiration date. Look closely at the effective and expiration dates of the policy. Make sure that the period covers the time that you're in. I've actually seen someone get a certificate of insurance from someone before and it had dates that were a year ago. That does not do you any good at all. So, one, make sure you have valid dates there. Then the far column is going to show the actual coverages. As you move down, you have other lines of business, the business auto, you have commercial umbrella, you have workers' compensation. All of these things you may or may not know. The key point is to make sure that they have the right carrier associated with them, that they have actual policy numbers, and that the effective dates are current and that their coverage is provided. So, what coverages should you have on there? Well, if for me, someone's coming to do work at my property, I want to make sure, one, they have general liability of at least $1 million. That's pretty much standard. If you own a house that's over $1 million, then maybe you need to make sure they have extra coverage there. Moving down, business auto insurance, unless you're having them do something for an actual homeowner, I don't know that business auto insurance is a deal breaker, whether or not the contractor has it. So request it or not doesn't matter. Make sure, though, they have general liability. As you move down, the next one that comes up is umbrella. Again, unless your house is over $1 million, I don't know that you necessarily need to request that they have an umbrella policy of any sort. And then the next one down says workers' compensation. This one is crucial. So if I, as a homeowner, am having work done, I'm wanting to verify that my contractor has at least general liability as well as workers' comp. The workers' compensation is going to say if their employee gets injured in the scope of work, that they have coverage for it. If not, that person can come back against you for their injury. So again, we won't get into how all that happens, but just make sure that your contractor has general liability and workman's compensation. As you move down, to make sure that this is really a good certificate for you, the bottom left-hand corner should list you and your spouse or whomever, so your name and your address. And then in the bottom right-hand corner, it should be signed by an agent. If you have this document, it says that you know that the contractor has insurance. Now, there are some things that you can request of the contractor. You could ask to be listed as an additional insured, a whole slew of things. But for most home renovations, just to make sure that the person has insurance, just say, hey, can you send me a certificate of insurance? All right, so that is the main thing I wanted to get across in this video, is that if you're having renovations done by a contractor, make sure that, one, they're licensed, make sure that appropriate permits are pulled, and most importantly, make sure that they have insurance. Because if they perform work on your house and don't have insurance and something messes up, then that's on you. And in the situation I referred to earlier, where someone in the insurance industry had someone do work on one of their properties and didn't get a valid certificate, in that particular situation, folks, the plumber came out, did work that messed up further stuff to the tune of about $20,000. And when this client went to try to sue this contractor and their insurance, come to find out the insurance wasn't valid. So the owner of the property ended up having to come up with 20 grand out of his pocket. So making sure that your contractors have proper insurance is key. Now, what to do after the renovation is done? Have a conversation with your insurance agent. Let them know what was done. If it's something as small as, hey, we changed out the air conditioning system, let them know that. They can note it in their file. Because the next time you go to get insurance, I can guarantee you some of the questions are going to be asked are, have you updated your roof? If so, when? Have you updated your heat and air? If so, when? If you let your insurance agent know these things, then it's easier moving forward for them to get you better pricing. But here's the big thing. If you do anything that adds on to your house, like you add a deck or enlarge a deck, add a screen porch, add square footage, add a jacuzzi, things like that, make sure to have a conversation with your agent, because he or she may need to revise the amount of coverage on your house to cover that addition. So often we see people come to us and we've been clients and customers for a decade. And we look and say, well, here's how much coverage we have on your house. Well, I actually added on a screen porch of 1,000 square foot. Is that going to be included? Well, we never knew that. And so you could be underinsured, and that can cause a whole slew of problems. So in wrapping everything up, one, home renovations are awesome. Make sure you use a contractor that is licensed and insured. And in order to make sure that contractor is insured, request a certificate of insurance. That's going to be the document that says they have insurance, and make sure they have valid insurance. And then finally, make sure you let your agent know of any renovations or additions that take place so that they can update your file and make sure you are protected on your homeowner's insurance properly. Hey, folks, I hope this has been helpful. And until next time, we'll see you.